Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of KFFB's Open Mic program. All this week, it's Severe Weather Awareness Week with the National Weather Service in Little Rock, and we do have Dennis Cavanaugh with us, and he's with the Warning Coordination Meteorologist. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've got to shorten that title, right?
That's right, absolutely. Now, one thing I really like, we talked about flooding yesterday, and remember, turn around, don't drown. I love the saying there.
Absolutely.
But lightning, all of us know the wives' tale. Lightning does not strike twice. What do you think of that?
Yeah, unfortunately, lightning does strike twice. It hits the same area. It can hit the same area many, many times. That's especially true for tall buildings. The Empire State Building has been hit thousands and thousands of times by lightning. They have a grounding system to protect the building from that, but lightning can certainly strike the same place twice.
Well, what's funny, you mentioned that. KFFB has almost 2,000 feet above sea level a tower.
Sure.
And I've been there when lightning storms come through, and it just lights up. I mean, it's like Frankenstein-type lightning. I mean, that's what it looks like. It draws to high peaks, but it can also hit people on the ground, too. That's something we need to be aware of.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Lightning's tricky because a lot of times it will hit tall objects, but lightning can hit anything. The problem with lightning is we don't understand exactly how it's going to get from the cloud to the ground. And we know it's a very complicated process, and the main reason it's complicated is because air is a really terrible conductor of electricity. So you get a lot of charge that builds up at the cloud base, just tons and tons of electrical energy. It builds up so much that the cloud just has to release it somewhere. And so once that energy is released, it actually sends out these little feelers that we call stepped leaders that can produce possibly a lightning strike anywhere within 1 to 5 miles of where that energy buildup is occurring. And those leaders just sort of fan out like little fingers, and it's searching for a path of least resistance from the cloud to somewhere on the ground to get rid of all that excess energy. Sometimes if you're in those stepped leaders, people have reported feeling their hair stand on end before lightning strikes. And that's what that is. That means you're in the path of a potential lightning strike. And the lightning is going to just discharge wherever it finds that path of least resistance. Sometimes it's a tall tower. Sometimes it's just, in the middle of a playground or something, or on the ground. So you got to be very careful. Just in general, be in your car or be inside during a thunderstorm so you don't get struck by lightning. Lightning's extremely powerful and extremely dangerous.
Now, what about the sound? I've heard that saying that if you see lightning and it takes so many seconds for thunder, is there some truth to that?
There is, yeah. So the speed of sound, basically when lightning is so powerful, it sends out a sonic boom. And so the sound gets to us based on the speed of sound. And in our atmosphere, that's about 700 miles per hour. Light travels way, way faster than that. Light travels at, hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. So you see the lightning way before you hear the sound. The general rule of thumb is if you see the lightning and you start counting, for every count to 5, that's 1 mile. So if you count to 10, the lightning's 2 miles away. You count to 20, it's 4 miles away. So that's a general rule of thumb. But if you're close enough to see lightning and hear thunder, you need to take cover because you're close enough to get struck by lightning. Again, it can strike anywhere within 5 miles from where that energy buildup occurs.
Well, Dennis, thanks so much for talking with us today about lightning, yesterday flooding, tomorrow tornadoes.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the opportunity, Bob. It's always a pleasure.
And we can find this at KFFB.com and also our YouTube channel on KFFB 106.1.